Hello guys.
Hello guys, welcome to Pitching in Line. In this video, we are going to do post-analysis of Sunrisers versus Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals won the toss and they chose to field first. And first time in the tournament, they were going to chase a total. And SRH, who were asked to bat first, they actually came into this match with a lot of issues. The middle order wasn't good, and they were questioning about whether to bring Kane Williamson or not. And that's what SRH has done. They bought in Mr. Dependable, one of the best batsmen in the world right now, Kane Williamson. And what did you think about that move of bringing in Kane Williamson?
Bringing Kane was always on the cards. I feel it would have been a tough decision for them to drop somebody like Mohammad Nabi. He did a good job, even though he didn't pick any wickets. He bowled some economical overs. But the problem with SRS before the match was, their bowling had the meat. They're always known for their bowling, but their batsmen were not giving them enough, bank of runs so that their bowlers can have something to bowl at. Yesterday they got that opportunity, as you said. They were put in, and they posted a competitive total. I won't say it was a winning total. It was a competitive total. But the way Warner handled the resources yesterday, with their bowlers, everything was good. That's what the main reason why they won the match yesterday.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, I mean, SRH has addressed the main problem what they had. They had middle order issues and they bought in Kane Williamson. And coming to SRH innings, I think Delhi started really well, in the power play overs. They just gave away very few amount of runs, only 30 runs in 6 overs. And it was a very slow start for SRH. And it was a combination of both good bowling and as well as the pitch. Pitch was very slow. It wasn't like it slowed gradually throughout, but it was slow from the starting itself. And though it was scoring was very difficult, I think both based on Warner, they used their experience well and they combined to make a formidable partnership. So that was a good start. And Amit Mishra, he's one of the most underrated bowlers in this IPL. He came in and he picked up wickets of David Warner and Manish Pandey in very very quick succession. And then came Kane Williamson. Though Bairstow was set over there, he was very struggling. He wasn't able to play freely. There weren't a lot of boundary balls, a lot of strike rotation. But Kane Williamson, he didn't look like the man was injured. He didn't look like the man wasn't playing for 6 months. He just came in. He played beautifully, man. He played very beautifully, very artistic innings. And I think because of his innings, the score went to 160. Like you pointed it out, that was just a pass score. It wasn't like 180, 170, where it would have given you a very good advantage over DC. But I thought this was just 160 was a pass score, which could have gone either way. But also a word for Delhi Capitals as well. They bowled pretty well, especially Rabada. In last 4 hours, he bowled 2 hours and he conceded only 9 runs. So that shows that this man is at his peak of his powers. And also one last thing about SRH innings is we finally got to see Abdul Samad. He got very less number of balls, but his one shot against Nokia was pretty good. I mean, I'm really looking forward to see his innings more often. What do you make of Abdul Samad? Because there was a lot of hype about him.
Abdul Samad was making right noises. Even we spoke about that kid, a while back, the videos, and bringing him was another positive move. And once they left somebody like Yusuf Pathan, they needed some, finisher. So I think it was a positive move for Sunrisers to bring him in. And in that 1-6 which he smoked, Nokia was really eye catching. Nobody was able to play Nokia that freely. That kid came and just banged him.
Yes.
That showed his power, and that's why people were so awestruck about him.
Yeah. So coming to Delhi's innings, Delhi started the batting, and because with 160 on board, they weren't chasing a big score, but at the same time, it was not as less as 140. So SRH, since they had 160, I think the bowling lineup had enough runs to defend the total. How did you think about Delhi Capitals innings? How they went about it? Could they have done something different to chase it, or what do you think about it?
See, I think one important thing is, once you chase, whatever target, if it's more than 150 in a pitch like this, where the ball is holding up and coming, it's not coming into your bat slowly. That was the main reason why, even Warner and Bairstow struggled initially. So I thought they had to, get that blazing start, which they didn't, and they were jolted by early wickets of, Prithvi Shaw. So
Mm,
I think it was, and one more thing which I wanted to point it out is, when in the 12th over, when Shikhar Dhawan was dismissed, I thought they would have sent somebody like Marcus Stoinis in. There was two reasons for it. One is, he is in form. First match against Kings 11, he had that,
mm,
blazing innings which made sure that Delhi posted a competitive total on the board. Apart from that, I thought there was already a left-hander batting, Rishabh Pant. So bringing
yeah.
in another left-hander in Hetmeyer, who hasn't had much of it before, was a questionable decision. And I thought, but taking no credits away from Sunrisers, they bowled really well, especially Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan, the way he bowled was, we saw that vintage Rashid Khan bowling, and they choked the runs. They choked the runs, and they attacked the left-handers, and they made sure that, even Abhishek Sharma, they were actually, I thought Delhi Capitals were aiming for Abhishek Sharma to target, but the way Rashid Khan bowled and put the brakes on, I thought that made things easier for Abhishek Sharma. So, what do you say about the spell of Rashid Khan?
Yeah, I mean, the Wizard of Afghanistan finally showed up in this match, because there have been a lot of talks, that this person didn't have a very good campaign in CPL, and he came over here. He's not the same bowler like what he was before. No, he has lost his Midas touch and everything. So I think in that point of view, I think this couldn't have been a better time to show off his skills, because that has actually helped SRH win the match, and it would also help his confidence as well going to the tournament, because SRH, I guess they badly needed this win, and at the same time, it was a proper SRH, like vintage SRH, how they used to defend low scoring totals in 17, 18, and 19. So we got to see that, and it's mainly due to their both heroes coming back again. Bhuvi had a very good match. I always believe Bhuvi is the linchpin of this bowling attack. Yes, Rashid Khan is your key X factor bowler, but whenever Bhuvi plays well, right, whenever he takes those wickets in the starting and he controls the run rate, as such, more often than not, they win those kind of matches. And one more thing, what I would like to bring in is Warner's captaincies. I felt this match, he used Rashid Khan really well. He gave Rashid Khan the ball whenever, Delhi were trying to accelerate. He gave them, and he actually used him for wicket-taking options, and even giving Bhuvaneshwar 16th over, because usually he's someone who would bowl 19th and 17th over, but he has given Bhuvaneshwar in 16th over, and Hetmeyer got out. And suddenly you had new batsmen coming in, because until that point of time, Rishabh Pant hit 2 6s, Hetmeyer had 2 6s, both of the batsmen were set. So their tactical changes were brilliant from SH. I think he one black mark or little bit drawback was Khalil Ahmed. I think he was the only bowler who was very, very expensive. He went over 10 runs, remaining all the bowlers 6 or 7. And even Abhishek Sharma, like you rightly pointed out, when Rashid Khan took wickets, right? He came in and he bowled quickly 2 overs. But still, 3 overs for 19 runs from a 20-year-old kid who isn't so experienced, and who isn't so experienced in IPL. I think that's the match tilted towards SRH. So, what do you think about both these teams going forward into the tournament? What do you make of DC? Going into the tournament, because personally, I don't think DC played badly. It's just that there were few occasions where SRH, outskilled them, but I don't think they played very badly.
Yeah, you're right. As far as DC is concerned, they don't need to press the panic button yet. But I think they could have just concentrated on this batting order. I thought Stoinis batting above could have been an move which could have made things easier for Delhi Capitals. Especially after the wickets falling at tantrum. Shikhar Dhawan was set and he was dismissed. So there was
Mm.
somebody with experience to come and not only maneuver the strike and also get that boundaries, occasional boundaries. So I thought that was a kind of a stage decision. But otherwise, I thought it was SRH who completely outplayed DC in this match. And bowling wise, I'll say Amit Mishra showed why he's a warrior, right? He is that old war horse, who we are seeing him, since the
Mm.
beginning of the IPL, and he is ever reliable. And even the
Mm.
last match, he couldn't pick any wickets against CSK, but he came back here and broke that partnership of David Warner and Johnny Bairstow and picked informed batsman
Yes.
Manish Pandey also. So I thought he bowled
Mm.
brilliantly, and Rabada, as usual, towards the end, a death over specialist. So he mixed that slow variation, slow balls, and he bounces. He picked a couple of wickets also. So I thought it was overall a decent performance from Delhi, and they were tested. They were tested. They didn't chase in their first two matches, so it was a good test for them. I think they will take it as a wake up call and make things better in the next match.
Yeah, and for SRH is concerned, going into deeper of the tournament, yeah, I think they managed well. They played well in this match, but I guess there's still few issues regarding the third pacer, because Natarajan,
Hmm.
yeah, we haven't spoken about Natarajan. He bowled beautifully. He was nailing the Yorkers. And one thing which I really liked about SRH bowling yesterday was, they were continuously bowling Yorkers. They were
Hmm.
hitting on the right spot. Occasionally, you would see couple of 2-3 full tosses going on.
Hmm. Hmm.
Where it went for fours. Normally, what will happen is immediately the bowlers, right, they'll start bowling good length or over pitch deliveries. They don't want to go back to Yorkers. But I think they really stuck well to their plans. I mean, that shows their confidence. And we have seen a video where Warner, he was asking SRH bowlers to bowl all those Yorkers in the net practice session. So Natarajan bowled well. I think probably Khalil. I think that is one area which you might probably want to see
Hmm.
whether he's whether you want to replace him or whether you want to talk to him and make him a better bowler. And one more thing is now there are only 5 bowlers. So Abhishek Sharma is somebody who isn't so experienced. No, like you rightly pointed out, even Ricky Ponting also said in his post-match interview that they wanted to target Abhishek Sharma, but somehow it didn't go according to their plan. But what if Abhishek Sharma goes for runs? They don't have that sixth bowling option. Yeah, they're saying Abdul Samad can bowl a bit, but we still don't know like what kind of quality bowler he is. So I think SRH should also have to see about this thing. I think probably because what else option do they have? I think probably they can bring in Vijay Shankar to have that sixth bowling option.
Yeah, Vijay Shankar, for whom you will
But
bring?
I mean, maybe Priyam Garg, I guess.
Okay.
If SRH management wants to have a sixth bowling option, like a proper experienced bowling option, or you could actually try with Abdul Samad, because Priyam Garg, he hardly got chances, and it will be very harsh on him to drop him straight away. I think these are 2-3 few things which SRH has to keep in mind going forward.
So as far as Delhi is concerned, I thought bringing in Ishant Sharma was a positive move. I was finally
Mm.
happy to see him bowl again after the injury. It was evident, he was coming back from the injury. He didn't bowl for a long time before. He was rusty, but I think he will, improve as the tournament progresses. And I just want to have one question from you. Like, what if Ashwin is, coming back into this 11? So, whom will you replace? Will you replace him with Amit Mishra, or will you bring in Ashwin for Ishan Sharma and make a two-way spin attack?
It depends upon the pitch. It depends upon the pitch conditions and as well as the opposition as well. And like yesterday, it was a bizarre move by SRH because they dropped Nabi and they had actually four left-hand batsmen who were playing in DC. So I think depending upon the opposition and the pitch, whether to take Ashwin instead of an extra pace bowler, I think it depends upon the pitch completely. If the pitch was something like yesterday where it was very slow, though it had grass and everything, I think these kind of totals, these kind of pitches we are gonna see at the later end of the tournament. If it is starting to play like this, then I'm pretty sure spinners will have much bigger role to play going into the tournament.
So, that was it. Our analysis on DC versus SRH. So, we'll see
So
you
that's it,
soon.
guys. From us, we're gonna meet you. Yeah, we're gonna meet you after the next match. Tata, bye bye. See you.